And we are live. Hello, you guys. A long time no talk, I know, but the week has gone by crazy, crazy fast. Can you believe it? It is Saturday already, and our time in Houston is done. So now we're headed east. Gonna give you guys a few seconds to realize that we are online. We should start seeing a few of you popping on momentarily. When you get here, say hello and let us know that you're here. There is Daisy D. Hello, Daisy. How are you? Hope you are having a great start to a beautiful weekend. At least it's beautiful over here. It went very well, Daisy. We had a good time. Bub, how'd it go? Bub?
Huh?
How did it go? Miss Daisy's asking, how did it go?
Went pretty good.
You want to tell them what you got? They haven't seen the vlogs yet.
Superior, superior, and excellent.
Yes, he got 2 superiors and an excellent. No trophies though, so we're a little sad about the trophies, and we're a little confused by the judges' critiques because he got a perfect score. It's a 40. So on his digital photography, he got 2 39s and a 38, which is very, very high scores. Wasn't enough to make top 3, but still very high. On his graphic design though, he got 1 excellent score, a 37, and I believe the other 2 were 35s, that's one superior vote from a judge and then 2 excellents from the other 2 judges. And they said he just was too trendy, not creative enough, that it was too trendy. So how's that possible? That's like an oxymoron, right? And then the same critique on his t-shirt. On his t-shirt, he did get a superior. He got 137 and 2 36s on the t-shirt. So again, very high scores, and there were a lot of positive comments, but the main critique was they didn't feel he was creative enough. So I don't know, you guys. I don't know about that. But anyway, he didn't get top 3, didn't get a trophy, but he did get 2 superiors and an excellent. And so it was a great week. It was a fun week. He was a little disappointed, but nothing devastating. But he did very well, and we are very proud of him. That is for sure. Okay, Christina is here, and she lives on the West Bank of New Orleans. Well, we're on our way. How do you say it? Do you say New Orleans or do you say New Orleans? Because being from the South, I would tend to say New Orleans, but I think most people from New Orleans say New Orleans. Bub? Miss Daisy said those judges weren't too smart, that your work was awesome.
No, they weren't.
Oh, that's too funny. That's too funny. Well, thank you very much, Mary Beth. We appreciate that. It's gone well so far. Let me show you what's happening in front of us. There's what we have right now. We've got some big rigs that are kind of blocking our view, but the travel's going well. You can see by the sky that the weather is beautiful right now. However, when we pulled out of Houston for about the first hour and a half, it was really, really raining terribly bad. I have some of that on the vlog that you guys will see later in the week. When we get back home, I'll be getting all those edited and put up for you. But beautiful right now, so that's all we could ask for. Let's see. Well, thank you so very much, Doodle. We are sure trying to be safe. All right, so she says it New Orleans. Okay, kind of like what we would say it then, I guess. I hear so many different people say it different ways. It's kind of like Louisville. If you guys have ever been to Louisville, Kentucky, they have a sign on one of the walls there. It's like a tourist spot where you can go take pictures. It's like a, whoops, hold on a second. It's like a picture, what is it called? A photo op? A photo op, where you can go and they have like all the different ways people say Louisville. Babe, what are some of the other ways people say Louisville? You know, that picture op place? Louisville. I don't know. I can't remember either. There's like 5 or 6 different ways you can actually say Louisville. We say Louisville, but people actually from there don't say it that way. All right, let's see what else we got here. Not the second one. Well, hello, is that, let me see, Beanie Company Designs. Hello, hello. Hope you're having a great weekend so far. Hope it's pretty where all of you guys are. I don't know how it is back home. We've been trying to keep up with the weather back home, and back home it's been real rainy this week. A lot of humidity and a lot of rain. So, fortunately for us, it only stormed really bad here one day, and we did capture that on the vlogs for you guys because it was nasty. It was probably the darkest, biggest clouds I have ever seen. Actually, very scary and very ominous whenever that storm rolled in through Houston, and it lasted probably about an hour and a half maybe, and then it rolled out and it was beautiful. So that's the only bad weather we had during the whole week. It rained on us on the way there. You guys saw that in the vlog already. And then, like I said, it rained a little bit on us this morning when we first headed out of Houston. But overall, a great week weather-wise. Ninju is here. Hello, Ninju. How are you? Catherine is here. Thank you, Catherine. We're not going to be in New Orleans very long. We are only going to be there just long enough to kind of see around the city, and we want to eat there. Boiling in the UK. Oh, it's almost midnight where you are over there in the UK. Oh, there is? Okay, there's a Dave & Buster's arcade there. Do you know that out of all of our years, we have still never been to a Dave & Buster's, but I really want to go there. I don't know, maybe we'll visit that today while we're there. We do want to eat while we're there. We want to get some good old Cajun food. So where's a good place to eat there in New Orleans, or New Orleans, however you want to say it? Where's a good place to eat there where we may enjoy the Cajun food? Tell us where we need to visit for dinner. We're trying to hold out. All of us are pretty hungry right now, but we're snacking on our food in the car so that we can hold our appetite to get there. We just passed something. What was that? What did that say? The Bayou... Huh? Bayou Teach? Bayou Tech? I'm not sure what that was. That'll give you an idea about where we are. We've been driving from Texas. How long have we been back in the car? From Vidor, Texas. We've been in the car for about an hour and a half. I think we got about an hour and a half left to get to New Orleans. So that'll tell you about where we are. But I'm excited to try. So I want to get some gumbo. Try some gumbo over here in the Bayou. Our extent of Cajun food is Cajun battered shrimp or Cajun battered chicken at places like Outback or Popeye's chicken. We do like Popeye's chicken, and it's supposed to be New Orleans style. They just opened the Dave & Buster's last year. Hey there, Francis. How are you? Many blessings to you too. It was really, really nice. We had a good time meeting up with Paloma and the boys. Two of the boys weren't there. Two of the boys were away for the day, and then Ryan was at work, so we didn't get to meet Ryan either, but we did meet Paloma and the three youngest boys, and it was a lot of fun. I did get just a brief snippet you'll see on the vlogs when I get the vlogs all up and going once we get back home. Just haven't had time in the hotel. I thought we would have time in the evenings to get those vlogs edited for you guys, but it's just been so crazy busy. Haven't had a chance to get any of that done for you yet, but you'll see her briefly on one of the vlogs, and it was a lot of fun. All right, let's see here what Daisy says. Oh, well, thank you very much, Daisy. Hey, bub. Miss Daisy says no miss.
Good, thank you.
Thank you very much, Daisy D. Okay, good night, good night. It's midnight where she is, so she is about headed to bed. Okay, so there is a restaurant called Mulates or Mulates, so we need to look that up. Okay, so we will look that up. Christina, there in New Orleans. let me try to screenshot that. Let me see if it'll let me screenshot that so we don't forget what that's called. Yes, they got good food there. You can tell we are not the we're not the world travelers. But I would love to be. Oh my goodness, so many places in this great country. This is one thing I found interesting about Texas. If any of you guys are watching from Texas, or you've been there at all, you'll know what I'm talking about. Those Texans love their flags. And the people that we mentioned it to would laugh right away and say, yes, we really do. They love their flags. Everywhere you looked was not only an American flag, but also a state flag. Even walking through Walmart, they had the flags up and down all the aisles hanging from the rafters. That was so fun and so awesome to see. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I do think I got some of that in one of the vlogs. Can't remember for sure, but I think that I did, because that was pretty amazing. But everywhere we went, every road we went on, or every store we went in, out in front of all the businesses and gas stations, they had the American flag and the Texas. Hey babe, tell them what you got today.
A Texas-shaped cookie cutter.
A Texas-shaped cookie cutter. They had Texas-shaped waffles in the hotels there, and just, matter of fact, they had a Texas state-shaped waffle maker for sale in one of the stores that we went into. That's pretty cool. I thought that was awesome. Those Texans love Texas. Let's see. Did you guys go to the Gaines store? Okay, yeah, she said that Moulates in New Orleans has very good Cajun food, so we need to look that up. No, Francis, we never got a chance to do that, because let me tell you guys what happened. It's kind of a crazy story. When Bub, I'm sorry, we're bouncing all over the place, you guys. These roads are horrible right through here. Let me show you. They're actually doing some construction right there in the middle. Can you guys see all the construction cones over here? So we're just bouncing like crazy. They've got the road all chopped up. But when Bub took his artwork to our state festival back in April, the end of April, the judges there did not pass his t-shirt through to the state competition because they told him it was too similar to the graphic design and they weren't going to pass it through. They gave him a rule violation. Well, the rules clearly state that you can use the same design in more than one category. You just can't enter two separate designs into the same category. However, the design for his graphic design and the one on his t-shirt were two totally separate designs. They were similar because he did incorporate the here as in heaven, but two completely different designs. So we had to appeal to the head of the festival, showed them the rules and all that kind of stuff, and he agreed with us that yes, there was no rule violation. It was a clearly separate design, and he deemed that t-shirt a superior, good enough to make it to state. So when we walked in to the competition here, I think I may have mentioned this in the vlog. I can't remember, so when you see the vlog, it may be redundant, but two of the judges, ooh, that truck came in our line. You guys saw it raw and in person. Two of the judges that were in the art gallery were two of the judges from Florida. So we got a little nervous right away because we thought, wow, they've already said he had a rule violation, which he did not, but we were afraid that those same two judges may give him a bad score. You know where I'm going with that? So when we got his first scores for the graphic and it only made an excellent, we thought right away, okay, these judges are playing the same trick that they played with us at the state festival, so we had to stay around in town on Wednesday to be able to contest the score if needed. It turned out that when we got the scores on the t-shirt, that wasn't the case. They just thought his graphic was not creative enough, but we weren't sure if we were going to have to contest the score, and so we stayed around in town and never got to make it over to Magnolia. So we told baby girl that we would get up early to go to the arena to take care of the scores and then take her on. but she opted not to. She wanted to stay around there in case there was more problem with the score sheet, so she sacrificed that for her brother. So we didn't get to make it, but that's an excuse to come back to Texas, right? Yeah. So we were all kind of disappointed and sad that we didn't get to make it over there. Erlene is here. Thank you, Erlene. Yeah, Francis, I think so. Oh, that was a little scary. That's a big old truck to come across that lane like that. Oh, sometimes these truckers get sleepy because they don't stop and sleep as much as they should. Oh, well, thank you very much, Doodle. I appreciate it. These are the shirts that they gave us. They say Houston 18, and then it's just got the little city of Houston on there. So all of us that attended the festival got a shirt. Well, Bub's is different color. Hey, Bub, show him your shirt. Yours is a different color, but it's the same design, just a different color.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how all that went. But some interesting things. I'm trying to remember. Last night, I got to tell you guys the story. Oh, well, thank you, Janine. I appreciate that. I think what just kind of baffled us the most, or made us the most confused, was that they said he was too trendy. I mean, how is that possible? I mean, in fashion and in design, isn't the object to be on trend or to create a trend that catches on? That's what a trend is, right? So to use the words too trendy, I don't know, we just kind of thought, okay, maybe they just didn't want them to do something that was trending. That's the only thing I can figure. So I don't know. It's all subjective to what the judges say. That's just how it is. Thanks, Mom. There is Mom. She's on here. Yeah, Erling, that's what we said too, because then they followed that up by saying that he just wasn't creative enough. But the first sentence was, love how you took the trend and made it your own, but you're not creative enough. I mean, like, all of that is like an oxymoronic statement, isn't it? Because if you are smart enough to see what's trending, but you can take the trend and create it into something new and put your own spin on it, then it just didn't make sense. But I mean, he still got a superior, so that's like the best, that's the highest you can get. It just wasn't quite a good enough score to get that top 3. So we were disappointed on that, but at least it still was a superior, and we all know how good it was, right? So, but there was a lot of talent there. We showed you guys in the live. I don't know if you've had a chance to watch the live. We showed you guys live from the arena on Monday when we got there. No, on Tuesday when we got there. And there was a lot of good talent there. A lot of creative kids from all over the country. So to be able to even make it to the national competition, to be invited to get that far, you have to have great talent to even get that far, because if you don't make it past your state level, you're not gonna go. So they all were very good, and you know, all the winners just deserve to win. And so, you know, that's just the way you look at it. But it was a great week, a very fun experience. We love Houston. If you've ever been to Houston, let me know, comment to me if you liked it as much as we did. Out of all the big, large cities that we've been to New York, and we've been to Louisville, Kentucky, Columbus, Ohio. We've been over here now to Houston. I'm talking about as far as big cities, of course, Jacksonville, Miami, all that. This one is by far the cleanest and just the most well-maintained looking city to us. We just found it just different. Now, there were a lot of homeless over here, which was troubling to see. You know, it always breaks your heart when you see them sleeping under the bridges at night and kind of all huddled together, the way that they congregated there. And so that part of it was sad. That's kind of typical inner city, what you find in the inner cities. But even with that, the area was just so clean and so well maintained, we thought. and just a lovely place. Loved all the artwork everywhere you looked, on the side of the buildings or on the sides of the overpass, the little roads that crossed over the streets. They had the most beautiful artwork painted, and it was just like fun, just a fun city to visit. We really did have a great time. All right, let's see here what I missed. Thank you, Earlene. Yeah, Cheryl, Texas is a large state to get all the way through, that's for sure. We drove, Houston only took us about an hour and a half from the Louisiana border. So we didn't get all the way into the state, only about 90 miles in, but it is a large state for sure. You know what, Daisy, I almost got my camera out the other day and talked about the bathrooms. I should have showed you guys the bathrooms, because in the city, in the buildings that we visited in the city, the bathrooms looked good. But on the way over, everywhere we stopped for bathrooms, and then this morning where we stopped to go to the bathroom, was awful. And I almost got my camera out to show you guys the bathrooms, and I should have. I'm glad you remember that. That is so funny. But yeah, right in the city, the bathrooms were very clean. They really were. And I tell you, probably the best bathroom that we went in out of the whole time was yesterday. If you guys are following over on Instagram, or if you're in the paparazzi jewelry group, then I posted where Kristen and I ran into a Tiffany's, and of course they had a gorgeous bathroom. It was so nice and so clean. The whole store is just so clean. But girl, let me tell you, their jewelry is pretty, but it isn't anything you can't get anywhere else for cheaper. And our paparazzi jewelry that we're selling is just as pretty for $5. You know what I mean? So, but we had to go in there just to say we did. But yeah, they had good bathrooms there. The arena bathrooms were very nice. The arena is very nice, or not arena, the convention center. Very nice, very nice. The kids have been talking about it. And I think out of all the fine arts convention centers that we've been to, they seem to like this one the best out of all of them. I think my favorite one still has to be the Orange County Convention Center in Orlando. I still like that one the best. I really did like the one up in Columbus, Ohio. They had a nice one, but this one here was very nice, very clean, very up to date. So it seems, because what was bad about Louisville is a lot of the area of the convention center in Louisville is kind of underground, and it's old. It's just dated. It's been there a while, and there doesn't seem to be like a lot of modern upkeep on it there in Louisville, and a lot of mold down in those real bottom places of that convention center there, where the rooms were, where some of the competition was. Huh?
They were closing it for renovations.
Oh, they were? Oh, okay. So Steve says that while we were there, they had talked about closing it for renovation. So that's good, because they need to modernize that one some. Well, too bad our fine arts for that is done, because we could go see the new, what they do to it. Of course, our fine arts aren't done all together. We'll still go as youth pastors with our students from the church, but as fine arts parents, our journey is over. 8 years of being a fine arts mom has now come to a conclusion, you guys. I literally was crying on Friday. It was such a bittersweet thing to think that, oh my goodness, now when we go, we're going to be strictly going as youth pastors and rooting on our students and helping our students to do. We didn't have any of the other ones that could come this time except for Bub. We had some that qualified, but the little girl that qualified, she wasn't able to come to Texas. But it's different, you know, when you're rooting as a mom versus rooting as a youth pastor. So it'll be different. Next year we'll be in Orlando. That's going to be back down in Orlando, and it'll be different showing up and not being a fine arts mom anymore. But we have had a good ride with it. It has been so much fun, and the kids are so glad that I have to tell you, when we very first started fine arts, and I may have told you guys this story before, Kristen was in 7th grade, I think. Is that what we determined last night? She was 7th grade? I think so. They have to be in 6th grade through 12th grade to be able to participate. And so her first year being in 6th grade, she didn't want to do it. And the youth pastor she had at the time didn't have participation in the fine arts. So when she hit 7th grade, we decided that we were going to make her do it because we knew she had the talent. We knew that it was an experience that once she got into it, she would end up loving it. And I had heard Dr. Dobson years ago, for those of you that know who he is, had talked about sometimes it's important that you make your kids get involved in something where you can see that they have an interest or a talent, and that you make them do it even if they don't think they want to, just for like one season or one time, or however, if it's sports it would be a whole season, you know, just to make them give it a shot. Because a lot of times kids that age will hold back from doing things either just from fear, being nervous, you know, feeling like they're not going to fit in with everybody else. And so he would say, make them do it at least once. So Steve and I sat out one night in the hot tub and we talked about it for a couple hours, and we were like, should we make her do it? She doesn't really want to, and or should we not? You know, what should we do? And we made the decision to make her do it that first year. And so she didn't want to. She cried about it, but Mom, I don't want to. I'm so nervous. Looking back on it now, we were talking about it last night. We were laughing. If I had it to go over with again, I don't know that I would have made her do it, because thinking about making her in the 7th grade, being that young, having to stand up in front of that room, in front of judges to sing a song. Yeah, I don't know that I would have wanted to be forced to do that either, because that was nerve-wracking for her, but she fell in love with it, just like we knew she would. And so the next year, when she finished the first year, she didn't make a national invitation her very first year. And we had told her, we said, babe, you never have to do it again if you don't want to. We just wanted you to experience it. She fell in love with it. And the next year she asked us, when is it going to be time for fine arts? I really want to do it. And not only did she do her singing, but she also did book chapters. She wrote chapters for books that they also get critiqued. And it gives the kids, they have met people from all over the country that they still keep in touch with through social media. And it's just fun. It's just a good experience for them. So fortunately, it worked out good. But it is a decision I don't know if we would make her do again, because when you think back, it almost seems a little cruel to have made her do it. But anyway, we knew that she had the talent for it, and that if she would only try it, she probably would love it. And of course, you guys know she won on our state level. Bub has won a national trophy a couple years ago, and so they really did just blossom there. And it's been a fun journey. So if you're out there and you have children who want to participate in fine arts, encourage them to do it. Not everything about the festival is perfect. There's going to be flaws, just like in every area of life. You know, there's going to be some pros and some cons, but overall it is a great experience. And I just think that if the teens want to do it, you really should encourage them to participate. Let's see what I missed here. All right, Catherine, thanks so much for hopping on. Oh, she's got some fresh Gulf shrimp to eat. Enjoy that. Oh, well, good, Janine. I'm glad. I am so glad that you like that. Which bracelet did you get? I don't even know what mystery gift that was. Describe it to me. Francis, it was about hot in Houston as what we're used to back home. It was in the 80s. I think the very first day on Monday, it was in the 90s, but every other day was down in the 80s. So it really wasn't bad. And they had a little less humidity than we had. So that made it a lot nicer too, because Florida is just a wet heat. It's like you're breathing in a wall of water. And here it was a little different. Now, my friend who lives here in Vidor, Texas, said that they normally have high humidity, because she's been to Orlando in the middle of summer, and she said to her it's usually about the same. But she said they did have a little cold front that came through last week, and it kind of dried the air out. So maybe it was just a good week we were here. Let's see here. Oh, well, thank you, Daisy. I appreciate those kind words. We do try. I tell you, we had been married for 9 years whenever I got pregnant with Kristen, almost 10 by the time that she was born. And, no, wait, let's see. No, she was born in 97, so almost 9. We got married in 1998, so we had been married almost 9 years when she was born.
88.
Yeah, 88. We got married in 88, and then she was born in 97. And during that time, I just did a lot of reading and a lot of studying. From Dr. Dobson was the main one that I love to listen to, his teachings on parenting. Gary Smalley is another one that has a lot of good information on parenting, and just tried to read and listen to people that had done it before, and learn from the mistakes that they made, and learn from the successes that they had, and just tried to implement as much of that as we could. The main thing that we have always tried to do when it comes to parenting is to remember that our children are humans with real feelings. You know, I mean, like, sometimes we see parents that I can remember this one time we were walking through a festival, and this little fella about 2 years old really wanted to stop and see. Something had caught his eye as they were walking down the street through the festival, and he really wanted to see that, and the parents wouldn't let him stop, and they were kind of pulling him along, and then he started to cry. And I had told my husband back then, this was way before we had Kristen, and I told him, I said, you know, if they would stop just for a minute and let him see that, I think he would probably be fine. Because just think of you as an adult. Sometimes you're walking through the mall, or just walking through Walmart or whatever, and something catches your eye and you just want to stop for a second and see it. And so those were the kind of things that I tried to always keep in mind with raising the kids, is that they are human beings with very real feelings. And if I can remember that and treat them that way, and respect that they have needs, wishes, desires, whatever you want to call that. And so I think if I had to put my finger on one thing that has been successful with that, that'd probably be with it. What do you think, Steve? Do you think that that's been a as far, huh?
I have been listening.
Oh, he wasn't listening because he was driving. As far as paying attention to the kids, thinking as little humans have things and thoughts, and just trying to respect that and give them to express that. Yeah, they're people. So, and I know sometimes when the kids are really small, it's hard to keep that in mind, but I can remember even at 6 years old, just for an example, there was a time that we were doing a lot of city outreach with our church at the time, and of course we always took the kids with us. We've never sheltered them from anything like that, because that's what we're created to do. And so we would take them along with us and let them help us with whatever it was. Driving down the road in an area near where one of the people lived that we had been helping, in a mobile home park that was in our town. But this gentleman didn't drive, he didn't have a car. You know, we would take him grocery shopping or bring groceries to his house. We would take him to the doctor, and just I think we need to go by and see Mr. And I says, oh, you do? And she says, yes, ma'am, I really think that we should stop in there and see him. So I says, well, okay. So I turned the car around, and actually, you were driving. You were with us that night. He was with us that night. So he turned the car around, and we went, and Bruce needed us. And we were so glad we did. And just taught her, even if Bruce had not needed us, okay, let's just say that Bruce had not needed us to come by, turning the car around to go back to talk to him or to visit with him for a minute would still have validated to her that her opinion was very valid to us, and that we were listening to her, and that we were willing to do something that she wanted to do. You know what I mean? And I think I think that's really where we have tried, not always perfectly, and we have failed a lot as parents. Trust me, we have definitely made our share of mistakes. I have said I am sorry a million times to my kiddos because I do believe that parents should apologize when they're wrong. But I just think that showed them, even from the time that they were little, that we listened to them and we valued what they had to say. And it made them eager to share with us. It made them unafraid to open up to us because they didn't have to worry that we were just going to always shut them out because they were just too little. You know what I mean? So if you still have young kids at home, that's one of the biggest pieces of advice that I could give you, is to treat them like they are legit little people, because they are. And just like sometimes you either have a grumpy day or things that you really want to do, or you know, whatever, your kids have those same thoughts and processes. And if you can learn that and understand that, then it's going to validate your relationship with them, and it's going to go a long way in your parenting. And it really does help to cover over some of the parenting flaws and mistakes that you do make, because they're going to know you love them and value them, and they're a whole lot more willing to help you deal with your flaws. So that's just kind of what we've tried to implement. I wish I could say we've done it perfectly, but we have not. Thank the good. Can't wait for some fall weather too. It's super hot in New Orleans. Uh-oh. So we're heading in for some heat, huh? Looks like we're heading into a couple dark clouds too. Oh, okay, Janine, that's right. I remember now. It was the real pretty bracelet that we did for the birthday giveaway. Yeah. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Linda is here. Hello, Linda. How are you? Hope you're having a great weekend. Let me show you guys what's happening now. I know on here that little area right there is looking blue, like blue sky, but it is not. It is actually very, very dark gray. It's showing up as blue as this sky over here, but it's not. It is a totally different shade, so I'm a little nervous. I hope we're not heading into more bad weather. We had bad weather leaving Houston this morning. Yeah, fall weather is going to be nice. I love the fall and the spring. Of course, I love all the seasons, but I really love the fall when the cool weather starts coming in and the leaves start changing. We're far enough North Florida that our leaves do change. It takes a long time. We're way far behind those of you in the north who get your leaves changed, and ours don't turn all the brilliant pretty colors like the reds and yellows and oranges. We have a few trees around us that do that, but ours just go from pretty green alive to brown and dead. And then they start falling on the ground. That's when you know that you've hit that fall time. But I enjoy that time of the year. We used to collect those pine cones as kids, a lot of pine trees in Florida, and make those Thanksgiving turkeys with the pine cones. You remember that? Or paint them up and decorate them as pine cone Christmas trees. Yeah, we used to have a lot of fun doing that. Big old boxes of pine cones we would get out of the yard. Oh my, there was a tornado in Queens 2 days ago? Well, how much damage did it do, Francis? We have been so crazy busy, we haven't seen or heard any news while we've been gone. Wow, not good. Were you affected by it at all? That is crazy. We have had crazy weather everywhere, it seems, this year. Have you guys noticed that? Just like all over the place, crazy weather patterns have been happening this year. So strange. But yeah, that's not good to have a tornado right there in Queens. I think the kids have finally drifted off. Oh, no, Bub's still awake.
Huh?
You still awake back there?
Yep.
I think Sissy's done hit the hay.
No, she didn't.
Oh, she's still up? Oh, she's still up. Oh my goodness. Well, Francis, I sure hate to hear that. I sure do. Lots of rain in New York City too. I tell you, we've had every day in Florida, we've had rain. A few days sprinkled here and there where we didn't have rain, but mostly, and I mean, I know Florida kind of gets rain a lot anyway during the rainy season, but not like we've had this year. It has been crazy with the rain. Yes, Janine, roasting those marshmallows over the fire. Love that. I love a nice fire. Oh, okay. So Queens is not, it's not close to where you are over there in the Bronx. All right. Well, good. I wasn't sure how close all that is up in there. Well, we visited New York. We could see. We were in downtown New York. Like we went to the names are slipping me right now. The Statue of Liberty. We went to Battery Park. We went to Central Park. We had to, of course, visit the American Girl, the big American Girl. We went to Saks Fifth Avenue and Macy's. Let's see. We did ride the subway. We rode the subway all the way from down near Battery Park all the way up to Central Park because I could not go to New York and not drive the subway. And then, let's see, we went to the big Toys R Us. We could see the Brooklyn Bridge, but we never actually went on the Brooklyn Bridge. We did go through the Lincoln Tunnel because our hotel was actually over in New Jersey. And then we would drive into the city. And I'm trying to remember, we went to Ground Zero, of course. That was so emotional. We went back in 2007 is whenever we were able to visit New York City, and I knew that I wanted to visit Ground Zero. And from like a block away, when we knew we were getting kind of close to it, I mean, just the emotion hit, and it was such an emotional... Huh? I just saw you.
Looking at that rainbow.
Oh, there is a rainbow. Let's see if we can show them. Let's see if you guys... I don't think it's showing up. No, I don't think it's showing up right over those trees. Yeah, there it is. You guys see the rainbow? Oh, wait a minute. Now it's right behind those big white buildings, or whatever that is there. There it is. There's the rainbow. But it was so emotional for me going to Ground Zero. Yeah, we were in Manhattan. Yeah, I saw that they closed all the Toys R Us. Was it last week or the week before? Within the last couple weeks, we've seen that. That is sad too, because that one was so fun. Oh, okay, so it takes you 40 minutes by train to get into the city.
There's the LSU stadium.
Where is it?
To the right.
Oh, it sure is. Oh, let me see if I can show you guys. Right there. That is where the LSU Tigers play football. So are we in Baton Rouge?
Yeah, we just hit Baton Rouge.
Okay, so we're in Baton Rouge, and there is Tiger Stadium. Hey, Bub, can you get that on your phone for me so that I can put it in the vlog? Because I'm using my phone for this. Yeah, so how about that? We didn't even notice that on our way in the other day.
I kind of missed it.
Oh, you did? Well, it's all right. Oh, they do? They still have the Toys R Us in Japan? That's interesting. Okay, so Linda, you live about 20 minutes from Central Park. I would love to go to Japan. I would love to just go all over the world. Yeah, I really would. We did visit part of Central Park, but we didn't get to go all in the park because our time was so limited. We only had 2 full days in New York City, so we tried to hit all the big major hot spots that we knew we wanted to see for sure, but we didn't get to go all the way through Central Park. But I would love to do that the next time I go back. I gotta tell you, we were truly impressed with New York. Now, I don't know how it is for those of you who live there all the time, but we were a little nervous when we went because we heard all these stories of people. They're so rude and they're obnoxious and, oh, you better be careful, you're going to get mugged, and, you know, all these stories that you hear about New York. So we were a little nervous, got to be honest. And when we got there, though, the people of the city were so nice and so accommodating, and because we didn't know where everything was, you know, we had a little map that we had printed out and we had some hot spots highlighted on the map, but you know, if I didn't know where something was, I'd just walk up to somebody that I could tell was working and just walking around because they live there. And so I would stop them and I'd say, oh, can you tell me how to get to such and such? And they were like, oh yeah, come on, follow me, I'm headed that way anyway. And were so helpful getting us around this city. I was so shocked at just how nice they. Let's go, Francis, I'm with you. Let's do it. Let's see, I'm trying to read these comments, but the car is a-shaking. They're called Lucky Bags in Japan, and you get them on July 1st. Now, is that, or January 1st, is that at Toys R Us, you mean? Yeah, Francis, you guys are seeing all the crazies today. The typical stereotypes, Linda, where you are. Yeah, they're not rude. They're not rude at all. We had a great experience there. People couldn't believe it when we got back and we were telling them that they were very nice. Hi there in Idaho. How are you? Oh, okay. So the nicer people are in Manhattan, but in the outer boroughs, they can be a lot rougher. Maybe that's the way it was, because we never made it to like the little outskirts or nothing. I really wish that we could have made it over to Brooklyn. I would have loved to have seen the Brooklyn Tabernacle, you know, the big tabernacle choir that's so famous. And we did go by to see Rockefeller Plaza, and of course we had to go by to see Times Square Church for sure. Trying to remember what all we got to do. And they were so nice to Steve, because all Steve had to do was mention that he was a cop back in Florida. And didn't we went on the Statue of Liberty for free, didn't we? Yeah, we did. And the Empire State Building, they didn't even charge us once they found out that Steve was in law enforcement, and I thought that was really cool. Like I said, it was 2007, 9/11 had happened in 2001, and so I guess just kind of the whole camaraderie of all first responders because of all that had happened there. But it was just a great experience. Like, we can't wait to go back. Baby girl thinks she might even want to live there, don't you, babe?
I would love to.
She would love to. Everybody that comes up there stays in Manhattan. Next time we go, I would love to get a hotel right there. As a matter of fact, I'd love to stay at the Plaza. Have you guys ever seen the little Eloise movies? She stays at the Plaza. She lives there. And we did see it while we were there, because we wanted to know how true to the movie that the hotel was in the, you know, in the little books that they did the movie off of. And so it was under some reconstruction. It wasn't even open for guests at the time that we were there, but we could peek into the lobby, and it was pretty dang close to what the movie was. So that was pretty interesting. Oh, at all the stores in Japan. Okay, that's really cool. All right, trying to read what you guys are saying here. That's pretty cool. So I don't know, maybe one of these days, if we ever get back up there to New York, we'll have to look Linda and Francis up. I know you're not right there in Manhattan, but close enough. We could meet up somewhere. Oh, they do? What is the Eloise event during Christmas, Linda? Like, what all do they do? That would be so fun. We have always wanted to go to New York during Christmas time. Matter of fact, Christmas, this is her thing. So for all of you guys who might happen to be watching this video, who may eventually want to propose to Kristen in the future, she wants to be proposed to in New York City on New Year's Eve. Or New Year's Day. Wasn't it New Year's Eve, babe? Oh, Christmas Eve. That's right. On Christmas Eve, she wants to be proposed to in New York City. And she wants to honeymoon. Where did you tell me? Switzerland?
Yeah.
So I'm just putting it out there for all of you who may eventually want to propose. Maybe we can make it up for Christmas. All right, let's see what Francis says here. Oh my goodness, pushing people onto the track? That is awful. And very pink. I'm gonna have to look that up. That would be so much fun. This past year for Christmas, you guys probably saw it on the vlogs through Vlogmas. We took the kids down to the Polar Express event. What's that called? Experience, the Polar Express experience that they have down here. We did take them to that, and I would love to go do, me would love to do the Eloise thing. I love those little movies. We still watch them every Christmas. We've got 2 of the Eloise movies, which I think is all there was. There was Eloise at the Plaza and then Eloise at Christmas time. And every Christmas we have to watch Eloise. I just love that. Yes, Francis, I agree. Most definitely. That would be awesome. Oh, they do, Linda? Yeah, well, if you get a chance, I thought it was worth it. Me too, Francis. Matter of fact, we just finished up Christmas in July on the Hallmark Channel. So baby girl and I were watching Christmas movies just about every evening. We would watch some during dinner time. The boys, you know, they're not into that Hallmark stuff too much. So on the nights that Steve would take Bub up to the soccer fields, me and Kristen would sit down if we weren't busy doing something else and watch a good Christmas movie, a good Hallmark Christmas movie. Yeah, I can't wait. Like, once the summer's over and like all the kids get back into full swing of getting into school, it always hits me every year, Christmas fever. Like, I am ready to start decorating for Christmas. I love Christmas. I love the smells and the sights and all the pretty lights, and yeah, I do. I love Christmas. They have the Japanese lottery. Oh, that sounds fun, Christine. Babe, Miss Francis wants to know if you're going to watch the spinoff of Wind Calls the Harp.
I'm sure I will, but I'm not happy about it.
She says she's sure she will, but she's not happy about it. You're still having a hard time adjusting, aren't you?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, Linda, that'll be fun with a new little one around for sure. I think it's gonna be oh, look over there. There's a water park. I don't know if y'all can see out that window or not. That was neat. I think it's going to be super fun for my brother too, because my brother just had his first baby. I think the baby's 2 months old now, somewhere around. Well, they had the baby the Wednesday after Bub graduated on Saturday. So they're going to be excited too, the first Christmas with the baby. It'll be the first time we've had a baby around for Christmas in a long time, because me and my sister, our kids are older now, and all of our kids now are out of school and grown adults, so we're gonna have a baby back in the house. You're right, Francis. That's what I keep trying to say too. Well, thank you, Linda. They're excited. They're very excited. My brother turned 40 years old this year, so they waited a little while to have their baby, and they're just over the moon excited, and he's the cutest little thing. I tell you, we've all had a good time with him. So, and it's going to be fun to have the pitter-patter of little feet. Of course, by Christmas time, how old will that make him? About 7 months old, so he won't be quite pittering or pattering, but It'll be fun to have him around. By next Christmas, he'll really know what Christmas is and be able to open those little presents and stuff. So that will be a lot of fun for sure. Oh, mercy. All right, you guys, I think I'm going to go ahead and bounce off of here. I have kept you guys almost an hour. Can you believe how fast time travels when you're having fun? I don't think, how much longer we have to New Orleans? Still an hour? Oh, we still have a whole hour left. Oh my goodness. I thought we were, let's see, what time is it? Almost 7? I thought we were going to be there about 7:30, but what do I know? Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and hop off of here, but thanks for hanging out with me on this little journey and listening to all of our fine arts experience. You guys can be looking for the vlogs. They'll be coming up as soon as we will be arriving back home sometime tomorrow evening, and then when we get there, we're gonna go pick Gunner up. He's one of our canine officers. Let him come to his house this week, so hopefully he's had a lot of fun. So we'll go pick him up and get all settled back home sometime tomorrow evening. So it'll be Monday probably before I can really start getting the vlogs pumping out for you guys, but you guys be able to see the whole week. And we tried to take some footage of some of the fun stuff we thought that you guys would want to see around Houston if you've never been there. I can't wait to go back. I really did have a good time there. So on that note, you guys, I'm going to go ahead and say good night. You guys have a great rest of your weekend. Many blessings. Thanks for hanging out with me. And if we see anything really, really super fun in New Orleans, I'll go live with you again. Otherwise, just look for it on the vlog. And on that note, I'm going to say good night. We'll see you all later. Bye.